Thank you for tuning in to the Survivor Not By Chance podcast. We discuss survivor stories from all walks of life with guests who have turned their traumatic experiences into inspirational stories. The show is for entertainment purposes only. We do not claim to be medical professionals, nor do we give medical advice. Let's get started. Come on in and enjoy the show.
Let's meet Asia Carroll, host of Survivor Not By Chance podcast. Asia is the author of The Pressures of Becoming a Diamond. She is a life coach here to help you through life's issues. Asia is also a psychic medium. Let her dive into your future. Contact Asia at www.survivornotbychance.com.
Welcome back to Survivor Not By Chance podcast. I am your host, Asia, and I am the CEO of my company, Survivor Not By Chance. I survive not by chance, but I survive because I fought to survive. So today we have a special guest. I'm super excited to have her on the show. Her name is Chatiela Underwood, and she is going to speak about her amazing book, Eyes Wide Shut, as well as her advocacy for domestic violence. So I'm going to change things up just a little bit. And at the beginning of the shows going forward, I'm going to pull some oracle cards for the collective just to see, just to see what Spirit has for you all. And before I could even finish pulling the cards, a couple cards popped up. The first card is Moon Mating, New Beginnings. New beginnings. We're literally going into a new year within a few days. And I want to wish each person a very happy beginning in your new year. You also have, four cards popped up. I only tried to get one, but four came out. Unmarked Trail, Revelation. And so there are going to be some unmarked territories and things that are going to happen in this new year for some of you that are coming upon. And you just want to just take your time and be sure that you're following your intuition, you're following your guides and following and making sure that you're not doing anything that's going to make you feel rushed. I'm not sure who that's for, but whoever it resonates with, go with it. This next card it says Root Girl. The disowned self. So do not disown yourself. Do not forget who you are. Do not forget basically your purpose. Do not forget where you're called to. Allow yourself to be rooted and grounded in the decisions that you're making moving forward. And the last card that popped up, it says Horseman, Herald of Change. So everything is coming around change here. We are going into new beginnings. We are going into a new year. And so we're going to move forward in unity. We're going to move forward in strength and peace. Be sure that you're continually following your intuition, continually following what brings you peace. If it doesn't bring you peace, reevaluate it. So I'm going to bring our special guest on board. Chatiela is here. Chatiela, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me and holding space with me. I want to tell you, your cards resonate with me, Diva.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Look how that was so quick. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So Chatiela, so I just want to let everyone know we actually met about, was it a year ago on Clubhouse? And it was for me doing readings. This was like the first time I publicly did readings. And I was super nervous, but Shatila was like, you were on point. And so I appreciate you even still from that moment to now. You're still here with me. We're still working together, communion with each other. And it's been an amazing journey with you, Queen.
Thank you. I'm just glad to be here. And you touched me when I first met you. It's been a while because after we met on Clubhouse, I followed you, and I want to tell you that you're doing a great thing. And you are walking in your faith and your destiny. And I'm glad to be here in this space with you this evening.
Thank you so much, Queen. Don't make me get emotional now. Try not to get emotional. So let's just go ahead and dive in. And so let's talk about your story. Your new book here is called Eyes Wide Shut. Let's talk about that. Before we do, I just want to bring up, we have some comments on Facebook. Christine, she says, Happy New Beginnings to everyone. Thank you so much for joining us, Queen. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about your new book.
Eyes Wide Shut. It's actually my memoir, the second edition. Um, it's my story, my life story. I wanted to put the pen to paper and write a book in hopes of saving one person and at least bringing awareness to domestic violence, to post traumatic stress disorder, to suicide, to a plethora of issues that we often hide behind and don't bring it to the forefront. So I wanted to write it in hopes of letting you know that you are not alone. You may know somebody or you may be going through it, but that book will definitely help you get through it.
Yes. And with this book, let's just talk about a few pieces of the book. And I understand what inspired you, and I understand that this may have been even a tough journey in writing the book. When you were writing, how did you feel emotionally writing this book?
Emotionally, it was a roller coaster because I had to relive or rehash open wounds. It's like throwing salt on a wound and reopen and made me go back down memory lane and put me in a headspace in which I really didn't want to be. But by writing that, I was able to write it in a way to if you are a person that's going through it, you will feel that and you will know that you are not alone. So I wrote it to help save somebody. So regardless of what it cost me, it was for a reason.
Mm. And I love how you are not just thinking about yourself in the moment in writing and
Mhm.
even publishing the book, you're thinking about how well you can help so many other people who may be in these situations. And a lot of times people wonder, why would you share your most vulnerable parts of yourself? Why would you share this part of yourself that should be a secret or should be private? There are so many people experiencing domestic
Yes.
violence in so many different facets,
Yes.
from emotional abuse to financial abuse. That's one people don't talk about. Financial
Exactly.
abuse is a big one. Control and
Yes.
controlling every move a person makes is abuse. Okay.
Yes,
Um,
ma'am.
Not only that, physical abuse. Okay. We're also talking about it's so many parts, verbal abuse.
Hmm.
Okay. Speaking to someone in a specific manner to degrade them is abuse,
Exactly.
and a
And
lot of
then
people don't know that.
abuse come in many forms. It's not only physical, it can be mentally, it can be emotionally, you name it. But the bottom line is that the common goal that it has in itself is that it breaks you as an individual down. It's no one abuse is not any worse than the other, but one thing you should know if you are going through it, there is another side that you can get to. Whether it's finding resources like you have here, the National Domestic Violence Hotline, or finding someone to speak with, because when you're going through it, you often cut yourself off from the world. You're ashamed, you may feel ashamed. It's all kind of emotions that goes with it, but find someone to pour into and share that information with, because you don't need to go through that alone. And find ways to get out of it. It's not going to come overnight, but come up with a plan so that you can possibly make it to the other side, because you don't know when it may go too far. You don't know when if it may lead you to your demise. You just never know. So before it's too late, even if you have children, use those children as a reason to get out of it. Don't use them as a reason to stay, because what you don't know is that you're harming the children more, letting them see that, then it's a lot of damage being done. And then that's when it goes into when you become an adult, you have to deal with childhood issues. and you are causing your child to have issues. So this is not only about you, this is about your children. This is about you actually finding a way to survive and get to the other side. I've been there, I've done that. And you asked the reason why, I would put my life into a book. I want to be that person that you can look up to, and that you can know that you are not alone, and that I too went through it. And no, I didn't leave in the beginning. I didn't. Yes, I should have, but you will know when you're ready. You will know when it's time to go. You will know that this person is going to tell you the same lies and going to get you to come back and come back and come back. Like they said, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. So don't be that person. Be that change. Be that person. Find something to motivate you. Find a reason to get out of that situation before it's too late.
Yes, I love all of that. And I think a lot of people who are on the opposite end of the spectrum, who have a friend or a family member who may be in domestic violence situations, you have to be very careful in how you speak to the survivors.
Yes.
I say that because at any point in any time, you can say something that can trigger the
Yes.
survivor and push them into a depressive mode even more than where they are. And
Yes.
so, your purpose and your goal would be to just be there as a support. Don't tell them what to specifically do. You
Mhm.
can give them resources like the domestic violence hotline phone number. You can give them the National Suicide Hotline phone number as well. And I have that here because a lot of people who are in domestic violence situations, they end up committing suicide some of the times. And so I don't wish that on anyone. And this year has been very tumultuous in regards to suicide. There has
Yes.
been so many homicide suicides. There has been so many suicides this year. And I'm not sure of the ratio and the percentages, but the pandemic, I think, has increased this rate in regards to suicides because so many people are stuck in quarters with people who may be in domestic violence situations. And so, as a community, as a whole, we have to do our parts. That's why I make it my business to speak about domestic violence as often as I can, because there are so many people suffering in silence.
Yes, ma'am.
So many
Yes.
people are suffering in silence. Shalita, if you can, just tell us a little bit about your specific story.
Where should I start? No. You touched it on suicide and then domestic violence. My ex came back from Iraq and he committed suicide.
Oh, so
And that was after he came back from war. He went to war a few times. He deployed a few times, and he came back a different person. And when he came back, he actually ended up living double lives, something I knew nothing about. He didn't start that until he was diagnosed with PTSD, being schizophrenic, and also being bipolar, which I knew nothing about. I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what it was. I couldn't put my hand on it. I knew it wasn't me. Then I blamed myself. Then I didn't, I just didn't know. When one thing you can't do is get in the mind of a person that has mental health issues, is what I'll call it. Um, and you never know what will trigger them. You could be walking a straight and narrow, but if somebody is suffering with mental issues, anything can set them off, and you never know what will come. But he committed suicide in front of me and my son with the SWAT team. We actually made world news. Um, but it was actually as if I was playing a role in a movie, to see something like that and to see everything play out, and there was nothing I could do about it. It really hit hard with me, and it put me in a depressive state, and I was actually had depression, and I was contemplating committing suicide myself. But the only reason why I didn't is because I knew that my son would be left in this world without a tour guide and this thing called life, and I couldn't do that to him. The military sent a letter shortly after he died, stating that my son was considered a war orphan, and he was awarded the War Orphan Scholarship because his father passed away. And I said, "What would the word orphan is actually what woke me up." Couldn't
Mm,
leave my son here alone. That word alone, regardless of what was on the paper, the only thing that stood out to me was the word orphan. So that was something that I was able to use and continue to pray every day. And I did that for as long as I can't even remember. It was years. But I am here today to help save other people and to let you know that regardless of what you're going through, it is only temporary. You will get through it. You are not alone. Find someone that can encourage you and someone that you can share your thoughts with. And like you said, the the suicide is real. Suicide is the numbers are. It was already 22 a day for the military, but think outside the military because PTSD comes in different forms. You may have PTSD if something traumatic happened to your life, and the life as you knew it is no longer. What if you was in a car accident? You may have PTSD. You may not want to drive no more. What if you've been sexually assaulted? Then you don't want anyone touching you anymore. If you was in domestic violence, you don't want anybody in your space. You have to have boundaries so people don't go past that, so that because you never know what to trigger you as a person with it. So if you may have triggers, if you can't sleep at night, if something happened to you where you see life different, you may have PTSD and you may be undiagnosed because what people don't understand is that it's an invisible wound. It's not something that you can see. You can just see people go through it and get through or try to get through it. But when they give you medicine, and I'm speaking in regards to the military medicine, I don't know about the civilian world medicine, but when they give you medicine for that, like he kept saying, it's not helping him.
mm,
It made him worse. He started hearing demons. He started hearing voices, and that's what led him to his suicide. That in addition to things that he had going on, I can't give too much because it's in the
right.
book.
No, I
But
understand. Yeah.
but the medicines does not help, and if it does help, you have to get on one that would actually help you. All doses are different, and they had him on different medicines, Seroquel and all these other medicines, but it made him not be able to sleep, not be able to eat, and it made him start withdrawing from life. So you may be like depression is real right now with this pandemic because we are all in isolation. Like myself, I've been in isolation since the pandemic started, since March 13th of 2020.
Mhm.
So, and that means we don't go places. And we were the one family that travel at least twice a month out of the state, and we were looking forward to going out the country. But the pandemic changed all that. So you may have friends that are the strong ones, and now is the time to check on them because you never know what we are going through.
Yeah.
And we are the people that don't speak up and we don't ask for help, but we are the ones you need to check on. So we all need to be here for each other and support one another. So if you know anybody that's going through anything, just be there for them because it's not about you. It's not about them withdrawing from you. They're going through something. So call them, pick up the phone. You may not be able to go around them physically, but pick up the phone and check on your neighbor because you never know what they're going through.
Oh my goodness, you are phenomenal, Queen. Your story is out of this world. I can't imagine going through what you went through just in that one moment. Oh, I salute you,
Mhm.
Queen.
Thank
And
you.
I salute you for being so strong and so brave and moving forward and continually being the mother and being the support for your son and yourself in those moments that were
Mhm.
so traumatic.
Yes.
That's a lot. That takes a lot of bravery. A lot of bravery.
It wasn't optional because if I didn't do it, then who would? Again, my son would be left an orphan, and I wouldn't be here today to be speaking with you or anybody for that matter. So what I did is put the pen to paper, put all the pain that I went through and my experiences and pen, down on paper and made a book out of it in hopes of helping one of you because somebody's going through it and somebody needs to get through it and somebody needs to know that they are not alone. You're
Yeah.
not alone.
Oh my goodness. So you did the same thing that I did in regards to writing. I felt like I needed to write to let people
Yes.
know you're not alone because we have so many stories out there. We have
Yes.
so many
Yes.
experiences out there. But each person's experience may resonate differently with someone else's
Exactly.
experience. Okay. We're talking about not just children, we are talking about adults who are in situations that may feel they are alone. Okay. We are not just talking about um, mothers, we're talking about fathers as well. We're talking
All
about
humans.
brothers. uncles,
All humans.
yeah, everybody, from any person from any demographic, any person from any racial background. It does not, suicide and domestic violence does not have a specific type, okay? It can happen to any person. And so I believe it is our obligation as humans to do what we can to make this world better. And what better way can you do that by sharing your experiences to help someone else feel better about themselves?
Amen.
So I just want to say thank you so much, Queen, for sharing your story with us. Now, please share what else you're doing because you have so many amazing projects. I'm super excited for you. Please share with us.
Thank you. Well, I am the owner of a education consultant firm, and we are launching some new courses here. So if you are interested in learning how to record an audiobook, learning how to start a business, learning how to grow your business or scale your business, or learning sales techniques to scale your business to the next level, then I will definitely be your person for that. I'm also almost done. Actually, I'm done with recording my audiobook. My audiobook will be dropping in February. Definitely excited about that. So it is author read. I did read it myself. So that's something I've been working on as well. I also have a screenplay. So if anyone is out there looking, I have a screenplay available from Eyes Wide Shut. So I'm definitely excited about that. And I have a few other projects, but I won't mention those now.
You are doing so phenomenal, Queen.
Thank you.
So I just want to speak to our viewers really quickly. Wherever you are in your life, wherever you are in your journey right now in this moment, Shatila went through so much trauma. Yet she survived and she's now thriving. She is not a survivor, not she's a survivor not by chance, but she's a survivor because she fought to survive. She
Amen.
literally fought her way through it. And look how she's glowing. Look how wonderful she is as a individual person. You can see her spirit and see how she just wants to help people. She is thriving in her business. Queen, King, whoever you are listening to this story on audio or any of my platforms, on the audio portion, or even on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, wherever you are watching this, you as an individual, your story is not done. Okay. You can keep going. You can keep moving. You can keep growing. You can keep thriving. And
Amen.
everything that you want to do, anything you want to be, you can be and achieve it. There are no limits. All you need is belief. You don't need anyone else to believe in you. Is you just need to believe in yourself. And as we started in the beginning, I just want to remind you of the cards that came out. New beginnings. New
Yes.
beginnings. So wherever you are in this moment, take a moment to stop and pause and say, I've been through a lot. But moving forward, I choose to be grateful. I choose to have a new experience. I choose to have new beginnings, and I can start afresh right now.
Right now, it's we about to step in 2022. So get
Yes,
excited now. Everybody needs to write down their goals and start manifesting them. And let's get this next year started. Let's do it now. Starting today.
yes,
Let's not wait till Saturday. Let's do it now. I'm excited.
yes. And I have this thing where I actually start manifesting my goals for the new year. I start in October.
Look at this.
I start really early
Mhm.
because when you're manifesting, you need to be sure that you're putting in that energy. You're putting in as much time in those manifestations as you can.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
do not want to start manifesting and then forget about it and let it
Right,
go.
right.
Okay. When you manifest, you have to believe, you have to know without a doubt that
Be
it's going to
intentional.
happen. Whoever is listening to my voice right now, if you're in a situation and you're experiencing domestic violence in your home or in a relationship, what you can do is pull yourself to the side and you say to yourself, I'm going to get out of this situation. I'm going to get out of this situation. I'm going to get out of this situation. I'm going to get out of this situation alive, well, in perfect health. My family are well. I am well. We are free. And when you say those things to yourself, say it every day. Even if it doesn't look like you're going to get out of it, say it to yourself every single day. Okay, so we have a couple of comments. I'm so sorry. We're getting so caught up. I'm missing the comments. So we have Christine. She said that my goal audio book, we must connect. Okay, yes, definitely connect with Chatiela. She is on my Instagram. She's also on my Facebook, and you can reach out and contact her there. We have Ariel Underwood says, Vark Tech, yes. And then we have Christine that says, manifestations. Thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of my viewers who are watching us. You are the reason we are here. Okay, you inspire us because we appreciate you watching and being here and supporting us. Do you have any last minute things you would like to say to the viewers before we go?
Well, I have a lot to say.
Go ahead.
However, I'll keep it brief. I want to let you know that regardless of any hard faces that you've been facing, whatever it is that you may going through, you are growing through it. And this is only temporary. It's not forever. Whatever it is that you're going through, be intentional on finding a plan to get out of that situation. Be intentional on setting yourself up to be able to do what it is in life that you want to be able to do. Don't limit yourself, regardless of what it is that you don't limit yourself. Get out of your own way and get started now. Don't wait. And I'll say, regardless of what it is, how life looks right now, remember and always remember that you are not alone. You can get through it. And someone out there loves you. Someone out there needs you. Someone out there cares. So keep your head up, never give up, and keep it moving. Stay prayed up.
Yes, I love it. And so you can find Chatiela on Instagram at Arthur Hive Connections. And it's going on the bottom of my screen. For my audio viewers, I will spell it out. It is AuthorHiveconnections. You can also email her if you have questions about her book or any questions about any of the things that she's doing, all of the amazing programs she has. Author Chatiela Underwood at gmail.com. Her book is also available on Amazon. Eyes Wide Shut. Yes, Queen. I love the cover. It is so phenomenal. Oh my goodness. Love it. Eyes Wide Shut is available on Amazon as well as Barnes and Nobles. Multiple different options for you to go ahead and get that book. So, Queen, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. We're so honored to have you. You are such a phenomenal force to be reckoned with. And I look forward to working with you again in the future.
Thanks for having me and keep being great.
Thank you. Okay, so next week we will have an episode airing live. We are living in a pandemic right now, and unfortunately, we have so many unforeseen situations happening. So many people are getting sick. So many people are being exposed to this virus that I won't name out there right now. And so because of that, I'm not going to say specifically which guests we will have each week because some of our guests have been sick. My family has been sick. And so I will do my best to have guests each week. But because of the pandemic, some weeks I will be primarily just coming on individually by myself, and some weeks I will have a guest. So next week I do plan to have a guest, and I will give you more information when we get to that point. But thank you to each and every one of my viewers for being here, watching the show. Thank you to all my listeners on my audio subscribers. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Survivor Not by Chance. Also, all of my audio platforms on iTunes, Buzzsprout, Spreaker, Spotify. Thank you so much for listening, and please subscribe and like the shows there as well. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate each and every one of you being here, and may you all have an amazing evening. Peace and blessings.
Thank you for listening to the Survivor Not by Chance podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you to today's guest. We are survivors not by chance. We survive because we fought to survive. Peace and blessings to you all.